Hello, my name is Caitlin Austin, and this is Exam Mini Video 1. I decided to use the second prompt and explore pedigree and modes of inheritance for my first exam video. The fictional family and trait I chose comes from the Star Wars movie. The trait I chose to follow was force sensitivity. The force-sensitive family members are colored green, and the unaffected members are gray. Unfortunately, Prezi didn't let me hollow them out, so that's how I decided to annotate it. The family members include Shmi Skywalker, our first unaffected female, an unknown force-sensitive male. I know this is not exactly how it works in stories, but for genetics sake, this is how we're going to do it. And they have a son, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin is force-sensitive, marries Padme, an unaffected female, and they have two affected children, Luke and Leia. Leia marries Han Solo, who's an unaffected male, and they have a force-sensitive son, Ben Solo. The first mode of inheritance we can explore is X-linked recessive, meaning a recessive trait is attached to the X chromosome. This mode of inheritance works for this trait because we can see with the genotypes written on each individual. I will post this link to the Prezi in the description, so you can zoom in and take a closer look at the genotypes if you want. Our next mode of inheritance is X-linked dominant, where a dominant trait is passed down on the X chromosome. This mode of inheritance is not possible for this trait and becomes very obvious in the first mating because the son cannot inherit the dominant allele from his mother, who must be homozygous recessive. The last sex-linked mode of inheritance available is Y-linked. This is when a trait is passed down on the Y chromosome. This is not possible because in the third generation, we have a female with the trait, which because you have to have a Y chromosome to have the trait, would not be possible. The last two modes of inheritance are autosomal, meaning the trait is not attached to an X or a Y chromosome, but a separate chromosome. The first autosomal mode we can explore is autosomal recessive. This mode is possible for this trait, as we can see from the genotypes written on each individual. However, just to be clear, each unaffected individual introduced into the pedigree must be heterozygous dominant for the trait in order for the trait to be passed down through this mode. The last possible mode of inheritance is autosomal dominant. This trait can be passed down in this way as long as the first affected individual is heterozygous dominant. These are the image credits for the images and backgrounds that I used for this Prezi, and this is where I got all my information from, our wonderful professors and their lecture. That was a quick exploration of force sensitivity trait in the Skywalker family. I hope this was a little entertaining, and may the force be with you.